What's going on, Cancer? And welcome to the Chariot Friends. Justin here, and I hope you're feeling ready to grow, Cancer. Hope you're feeling ready to evolve. A metamorphosis is getting ready to happen here, Cancer. Sidebar. This shirt is almost as old as I am, Cancer. I've had this shirt a long time, and that got me thinking. With us being in this energy, I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but it's just like they don't. I was thinking they don't really make clothes like they used to, and I was like, you know what, Cancer? What are you bringing along that's working for you? like said shirt here. What are some things that maybe some clothes, some other things that we may not be working anymore that we need to make space for? Just even thinking just in the physical. I had thought about this, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm ready to part with this one yet. This is seen a lot of moves here. So, but this is even thinking to, Cancer, how you're identify. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, let me get the intros out of the way. Cancer, wait a minute. For those of you who are returning, welcome back. So impatient. Welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes and shares. Your support really is just the greatest, Cancer. It's been something I've been just really grateful for since I've started this channel. I will continue being grateful going forward with it. I'm glad that some things are, these messages are resonating with you, and it's been fun syncing up with the moon with you all. And I feel like this has been it's cool to see Cancerian energy just banding together and growing together, and then spreading those gifts out to others. So I just love that. And that goes for those of you who are new as well. Welcome. I'm happy Higher Yourself has brought you here, and we're in for an amazing journey. Now, the purpose of this channel are for those of you who have Cancer in your placements and to understand the wonderful just use of those gifts. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mars, Mercury, wherever, Cancer. This one's for you. And, let me start my hourglass here, and I do tarot card spreads based off our ruler here, the good old moon, because Rhonda is absolutely a super moon, and I'll talk about what sign she's in, what phase she's in, when she's going forward. Of course, just all of those lunar shenanigans. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one, so take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me. Never force a reading on a situation, and everything will be amazingly dope, Cancer. And I'm really excited about this. Let's just jump into it. Look at you getting thumbs up, Cancers. This is going to be cool energy here. Because this is something to be excited about, Cancer. But before we jump into that, your space has been cleansed. Crystals, feeling lovely. Cancer, if you have any crystals, set them out underneath this new moon energy. Cancer, did you make any? I can't believe I didn't mention this before. I'm going to make sure to. Luckily, I'm recording this a little early, so I'm gonna mention a post about this. But Cancer, if you haven't, set some water on underneath this super moon as well. There, the moon charges up that energy there. Set something for manifestation. It's fantastic. But yes, just great energies all around here, Cancer. This is what happens when I go off script. And Cancer, what an appropriate day for this to be happening. Happy Moon Day. The moon is associated with Mondays. This is a great energy, Cancer, especially with this, because this is a lot that's going on. And for all of us collectively, but especially if you have any points around this energy, around 19 degrees of Aries, this could be in your natal chart. This could be maybe something that's going on. I've actually, in my solar return, I think I've mentioned this, where this is happening on my Chiron placement. So, this moon day, we're not doing a thing. We're taking it easy, and we're tuning in and really kind of been listening. Or this could be happening on your progress chart, and this is something, Cancer, and we could see by house. This for me is happening in my ninth house, which is that house of higher learning, expansion, growth, and I've been getting this kind of itch to travel, and so there's something's resonated with me, and I'm trying to get that all worked out. But this this is something, if you want to know how this energy is working with you more intimately, book a reading with me there, Cancer. I have links down in the description box with all the services that I provide. We can go over this more thoroughly. I can answer any questions that you may have, explore how this stuff, look at the tools that you have in your tool belt when it comes to your natal chart. What are some things that maybe that you're natural at? What are some things, maybe some areas that you haven't explored yet? You know, when I became conscious of how much Leo energy that I'm working with, it's been something where I have been making that more intentional and finding ways to. I'm actually remedying something right now to help with more kind of creative stuff. But, you know, when you start living more intentionally and doing that stuff, it really does empower you, Cancer. You really do have these superpowers at your disposal. And so it's fun when you get to work with them and become familiar with this energy. But yes, Cancer. And also to, yeah, so that's just one thing, if that's what resonates with you, Cancer. But Cancer, we got a lot going on here too, because the moon is going to be going void of course today. Let's start there. Because with this energy here, because I know I'm like all over the place, but the moon is going to be going void of course at about 7:38 p.m. and that will be Pacific time. And then she'll be moving from Aries into Taurus on the sign she's exalted in on Tuesday, April 23rd, when I look that we time travel, Cancer. Oh! Cancer, you'll see why I'm excited in a second. Thank you, higher self. But yeah, she'll be into Taurus at about 4:23 a.m. So we're looking at about an 8-hour and 43-minute void of course time there, Cancer. And this is the energy where the void of course happens when the moon forms her last aspect with a celestial body, and then she processes that energy. And she has a lot to process going through what she's gone through today. So it's very appropriate that she's going void of course. And I feel this is a time for you, Cancer, when you get a moment, take some time for yourself. You know, really this should be a day where everything is, you know, you get geared up beforehand, everything is closed. We're just at home, safe, setting intentions, doing all this thing. But Cancer, you know, I know that schedules and things may not permit that. But when you do have some time, even finding times just to even collect yourself throughout your day, taking moments to breathe. If you can find 5 minutes, 5 seconds, something to just be very intentional. The void, of course, is a time to catch your breath, because we do process a lot of energies, and things are going to be different going forward, I feel, Cancer, as we all become more collectively aware, is what I've been kind of feeling. I had a lot of stuff coming through as I was meditating on this energy to talk with you about, and I'm really excited. But this is a time, Cancer, there is a lot of energy coming through, so check in with yourself. People are going to be feeling a lot. There's probably going to be, I find when there are a lot of conjunction energies, and that's when you're looking at a chart and there with the planets are within a 0 to 3 degree orb. I like to, with conjunction 0 to 3 degrees. It depends on who you talk with and how, and you really kind of depends on how it feels as well there. You know, the chart, just like the tarot, is a very intuitive type of thing, and people's sensitivities are very different. Some people can feel Mercury retrograde weeks in advance. Some people don't hardly feel it at all. So it really just kind of depends. But this is, wherever your sensitivity may lie, make sure to accommodate for that and to find some time to take care of you and nurture yourself and take that healing Cancerian energy and just channel that within their, Cancer. But also too, so now this big thing. So now we're in the new Super Moon Solar Eclipse in Aries, and that's going to be happening at the exact point is going to be happening at 11:21 a.m. and that'll be Pacific time, or excuse me, yes, 11:21, that'll be Pacific time. And this is going to be forming a conjunction. The reason this is so unique as well, and so why people there's so much attention on it, is because Chiron is in the mix at the exact degree of 19 minutes or excuse me, 19 degrees and 24 minutes of Aries. So when you have these degree points, when you have that type of exact conjunction happening, there's a lot of focus that is paying attention. This is very pivotal, and that's why I say whether this is happening in your, from this, I feel, is going to be wherever you happen to have this 19 degrees of Aries in your chart, because you may not have points or planets, or you may not have points or planets in Aries, but you have a house that falls in Aries. We all have Aries house cusp somewhere. Like I was saying, mine is Aries starts at the early degrees of Aries at the ninth house for me. That's where my ninth house of Aries starts. But there's like a little bit of it that kind of is bleeding into that starts off in the eighth house. So that's where knowing like the time of birth plays a big factor into that. But this is a big deal because you have the sun and moon. The sun is who we are, who we're trying to be. The moon is our emotions deep within the subconscious, and something is healing in that with Chiron. And when you think about this in Aries, this is a time to really kind of tune into the body, really listen into where healing is wanting to be done. I feel like this is going to be where, and I feel like this is something that's going to unlock over time, because like over into probably until when Neptune, I feel like this will really start to manifest and really see this come into play when Neptune starts entering into Aries. It's very fascinating what was coming through, because the new moon, and with it being a super moon, it's like there's this big change that's happening that we can't see, because you can't see the moon with this super which is in that new moon phase. This is a time where we need to be intuitive and feel these shifts. The time to go within, and Chiron as we're going within, there are going to be things that are going to be brought up, Cancer, that are going to need to be tended to, that are going to want to be healed, but what I feel is really happening here, which is really fascinating, is that there's this internal work that's going on individually, and it's taking those gifts that we've learned in the healing, and how do we take that out and put it to be of service to others, because I feel that's the gift of Chiron. When you get an injury, for example, you look into a bunch of different things. Like, for example, when I think about like when I'm trying to stay ahead of like being congested and allergies and stuff, I've just had discovered like I'm working with like Irish sea moss, and then I find how that works with my body. I really like that. And then like certain things, like random things that you wouldn't, you look online, you try for yourself, you explore, you're curious, and so that's what I feel is happening here in learning to tend to our own sort of wounds. And I feel like it's something that's going to come out in the body. So this is tuning into where there's any tightness, and not just from just general soreness, but it's just like, why are we so sore? What can come out in that? This could be where I'm even seeing like, if you in the just as this resonates, this could be where maybe if we have like a friend or like a partner or something, maybe even like a massage could be something where we can work out some pressure points and really kind of see what maybe comes up in the body with that. But the interesting thing that I like when we talk about the conjunctions, a thing that I really enjoy getting into is talking about the Sabian symbols, which are I like to think of it as degree theory, but these were downloads that came in, and they explained the degrees, the 360 degree points around these of the zodiac. And for this one, this is phase 20 of Aries, which is a young girl feeding birds in winter. And the keynote from that is overcoming crises through compassion. And I like this because I had mentioned this in the weekly downloads, that we're overcoming crises through Pisces. Because like with Mars being in Pisces, Mars is the one energy that is in charge of all this Aries energy, seeing that he's the guardian of Aries. But it still comes down to Neptune at the end of the day, who's fueling this thing overall. And I feel that we are in a bit of a crises really, like not even just individually but collectively. And what I was kind of picturing in while I was meditating is that in this healing of ourselves, and I feel like, I don't know, like sharing how we grow and how we process, because we're all going through the same journey. This like helps unlock this chain. And it just like, I just see it just as a, and this again, healing is something, this thing, this takes time, you know, I'm being realistic there, but there's something very supportive here, because when this energy is happening too, we not only have Venus still in that sextile energy of Pluto, which is, you know, Venus is still freshly in Aries. She's still getting acclimated to this. She's feeling empowered, you know, knowing that things are changing. I feel getting settled into the change, you know, like working it out in the body, like, oh, okay, this is where things are going now. Maybe how I've been pushing or how I've been going isn't as efficient as it used to be. And maybe finding the roots and making peace with why I've been doing this. Oh, I was doing this because of survival. I was doing this because of that. Let me shift gears here. Because also too, on this day, the conjunction is forming between Mars and Saturn in Pisces. And so not only is Mars fueling this, but Saturn has a very heavy hand in this, in what goes down here as well. So in this transformation, there are going to be things, I feel, that where you've been putting your energy that may have fueled you before, that are going to, like this hoodie again, that maybe have been working. Okay, this shirt passes, but these pants, they're gonna have to. We gotta cut that. We gotta leave that behind. They're not preventing any. They're not, no weather protection, no blah blah blah. You know, however, we're feeding this metaphor, but this is a very serious energy with Mars and Pisces and Saturn, because this is I'm feeling like it's energetic responsibility. You know, I feel like that there's like in any sort of areas where we may, how do I want to put this? I feel accountability, there we go, is going to be something that is going to be a theme going forward. Like mindfulness about how your decisions, where you're putting your energies, and I feel in every kind of thing. And I know that can seem, is not to be overwhelming, but it is to see where, oh, I may have gotten way off track from my, or however track I've gotten off from my path than I may have thought, or, oh, this thing really isn't resonating with me anymore. Because conjunctions, again, are this infusions of energies, and I feel like with this new gifts that are being, that I feel like new gifts and potentials here, Saturn's only going to let us access them if there's some things that we make space for, because it's just like you can't carry all of this stuff. So I know it's a lot of energies, a lot of things to talk about with this, but this is just, and I feel like, again, this is not just all on you, Cancer. This is for all of us. I'm working through my own stuff. Your friends, your lover, your mother, your brother, your father, your cousin, your store worker, all of us are going through something. We all got something that's going through there, and it's time to kind of band together. Tis we are, how do we deal with crises? How do we come together? I feel, like these are some big questions that we're asking ourselves. And I feel like because we've been in this sort of like Pisces, Aries energy, and will be in that again, especially since I feel like Saturn is playing, and Saturn and Neptune are playing such a big role in this energy as well. This big initiative, the first new moon that's happening of the zodiacal year is massive. And I feel like what that is saying is that the potential that we have for growth is massive, not just on an individual scale, but on a collective scale as well. The idea, I feel like, of leaders could potentially change. There is a lot of magic that's happening through here, Cancer, and I feel like that's a great note to leave on. But it's a lot of big things to be thinking about. This is not something to, I feel like, again, we're not trying to over jam all of our intentions into this new moon, but we are trying to be intentional in, I feel like, not just in every moon, but in every day going forward here. This is like living like there's no tomorrow, but wisely, like it's excited, like we're Aries is a very, it can be at a lower expression or at a, I feel like it can be just there to survive. It can be there to just do what it can just to get by, not really pushing itself, always always a little pissed off, a little impatient, blaming others, never really taking responsibility for their actions. But at a higher expression, Aries inspires others to rise up, to say that, hey, it's okay to feel down, but you've gotten up before. You've done this again. And Aries is not reckless. This is impulsive. It's like, how can we seize the day today? Let's go see what activities we can do to grow. This is a time to build confidence in yourself that I may be going through a lot today, but I can still, but I'm going to bring as much as I can for that day today, and respecting your energies as well, and not letting others tell you what is, it's very, very, I like this energy where this is going. But I feel like this is a very powerful start to the lunar cycle, to the journey going forward. I like this. But Cancer, these readings that I do, they're not gender-specific readings. So apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations. And then the decks that I'm working with, I've included links to them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested. But also down below some links for some other readers that I enjoy, Cancer, so definitely check them out. They're very fantastic. I'm excited to see what things happen going forward there. I was kind of looking at my chart, and I had some ideas here. I got some collaborative projects I want to get started. We'll see. But check them out there, Cancer. I got all kinds of goodies under that description box there, and I'm going to keep that stuff loaded there, Cancer. Help you avail yourself of if you want to take your... I got a lot of astrology stuff. I'm going to look into some more tarot things as well, because I've obviously I enjoy tarot as well, and I've read some literature on that as well and seen some stuff. So I'll post some things down there for that for you as well there, Cancer. But let's go ahead and get into your general energy of the day, Cancer, because I love it. You have Moonlight Enchantment, Cancer. How appropriate for us. And this is a card of magic, Cancer. And there's a lot of magic that's happening here. And I feel like this is defining a new relationship with the word magic. And that magic, it's when you're humming a tune, Cancer, that just kind of comes to your head, that's magic. When you're forming sentences, Cancer, that's magic. Just like, I feel like there's so much magic that is going on in the everyday, but we're not even fully aware of it. From the sentences that we speak, to the things that we surround ourselves in, to the sounds that you hear, to the food senses that there's a very visceral type of energy here that's going to very, very palpable. Magic is all around, Cancer, and there's an Empress energy coming through there. And I feel, when I was talking about that Venus and Aries sextile Pluto, there's something deeper, I feel like, that is bubbling up in the collective. And I feel that Venus and Aries can feel it. And it's just like, what is my part in that? And that's magic. The ideas, the questions, that's magic. And I feel the moon, in working with these celestial bodies, they keep us keep us magical, Cancer. And I feel like this, it keeps us in an energy that keeps us enchanted, because it's not saying that you have to do this because the moon is in Aries at a solar eclipse, otherwise you'll fail. It's These are the potentials that are laid out for you. We've been the sun, me and the sun have been eclipsing since before you were a thought, which, but now that we're in your awareness, and now that you see how magical you are, and you're understanding the potency of what you're bringing, because you are, I'm getting magician energy, Cancer, that this is a time to really be cooking up some stuff. And this is, again, this is not something, I feel like this is practice. This is doing the thing that keeps the magic alive in your world there, Cancer. Let me get some tarot on this. Let's let's see what magic's cooking up for you. All right, Cancer. Look at that. Well, thank you, higher self. Let's see what's going on here. I'm with it, Cancer. So you have the Three of Swords, the Six of Wands, the Ten of Pentacles, the Lovers, Gemini energy, and then their opposite sign, Sagittarius, the Art card or the Temperance card. Now this Temperance card, I really enjoy this card, because this to me is a card of alchemy. These are opposing forces coming together here, Cancer. And I love that you got opposite signs here. See the magic cooking up? You got Gemini and Sagittarius here. Both are signs. One, Gemini is kind of like perceiving our immediate surroundings, and Sagittarius is blowing our perspectives out of the water. It's seeing things. But what I'm seeing here, Cancer, is this new moon, this eclipse, is, I feel like look at this marriage. I love these two cards that came up here too, because the Lovers is the alchemical marriage, and then this would be, the Art card would be the honeymoon. And I feel that this is you tuning into that side of you that has a choice, because the Lovers is a choice card. And when I say that, I feel like it's not that when bad thing, or when things that may seem not so great, or when we're going through lessons or sad things that you chose to go through that energy. I'm not saying that that's why you're doing that when it comes to choice, but it's more so that how can you take what has happened on your journey, and how can you turn those into victories? How can you turn it into abundance? Ten of Pentacles here, the Ten of Discs. And because if the moon reminds us, Cancer, that the energies do ebb and flow with this moonlight enchantment. And there are some times where we're feeling on top of the world, we're feeling victorious, and there are times where we're not feeling so great. But even when I think about this Three of Swords, how this can be a kind of sad energy, a melancholic energy, because maybe for some, maybe we're not sure where we're going. Maybe for some, we may not feel confident in the gifts. Maybe for some, we may just be going through it and can't be bothered, But what I like about the Three of Swords is that this is Saturn in Libra, and Saturn is exalted in Libra. And it's one thing, and I like the way that someone had put this in a way, and I hadn't thought about it like this. I really appreciated that. That it's one thing for a sign to be like Mars, to be in Aries, to be for Mars to do well, to be the guardian of Aries. But when a planet is celebrated, Six of Wands in a sign, that's something powerful. Like we're exalted, like you're like you're praised in Libra. And so I feel like there's gold in this sadness here. And that's where the Chiron, I feel, is coming through with this energy as well there, Cancer. This is an energy I feel we have a choice to work with some sadness here, to work with these tough times, to make some alchemy. And it may not feel great at first because it's something opposing us. It's this dissonance, like how do we integrate that? And that's Libra energy. How do we turn that into something harmonious? But I feel it's something that we have to, in order to grow and to get the wealth and the victory from that energy, Cancer, it's something that you have the Gemini energy observe, perceive, and then look at it without this judgment. Both Gemini and Sagittarius, I feel, have this energy of open-mindedness, because Gemini takes in all these perspectives, and same with Sagittarius. They're both there's this open-mindedness to, and I feel like this sorrow here, this Chiron energy, this wound, because we all have a wound, and it's a wound. Chiron is the wound that you never fully heal, but it's something that maybe if I can't heal it in myself, maybe I can heal it in others, and in that we can collectively seal that circle there and turn our failures into sunshine. I love this story that's painted out here, Cancer. Thank you yourself. Let's see what else is going on here. All right, so you have the Seven of Pentacles, the Seven of Discs, or Seven of Pentacles, the Two of Cups, the Knight of Swords, the Seven of Wands, and then the Sun card here, Cancer. Let's talk about the Sun. I love that. The Sun's here and all this moonlight magic. And, Cancer, that's what I feel is coming. I feel that things have been, the energies have been tough. The journey has been tough. But I feel that there is this push that is happening in the energies, because I do feel like people are getting in touch with their magic, and it doesn't just have to be through tarot or astrology. This could be maybe you're learning through, who knows what this is looking like. But I do feel that this is a time to be open to making mistakes. But I do want to say, Cancer, just thinking back with that Mars conjunct Pisces, or conjunct Saturn and Pisces energy, I didn't want to get, I talk about it again in my other channel. I talk about that energy. But the Sapien symbol behind that, there is this mentioning of your responsibility when we're going through. And I feel like there's this energy of being responsible with your happiness here with the Knight of Swords. That it's one thing to go and to want all the change, to want the happiness, to want the magic, but we have to go pursue it. I feel with this Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is a card of wisdom, and we get wisdom through action, through experience, Aries energy. And we get them through failures, but then it's in the failures that we learn how to cook. Then it's like, okay, I know not to do that again. Okay, but what if I try this? And then success happens, something brilliant happens, and it's just like, oh, okay. But the Seven of Wands is giving me be mindful of your gifts, as well as of criticisms of your gifts. And what I like to say about the Seven of Wands too is that behind it, this kind of more energetic wand here is the Six of Wands beneath this. But I feel like sometimes it can be us that is getting in the way of our own victory, because the Seven of Wands can be a card of criticisms and the ego kind of getting in the way of the actions. You know, there could be even some kind of fear base, you know, because maybe we don't want an image to be attached to us or a certain type of thing here. But, you know, Cancer, what I like about this energy, though, I feel this is a nice, the Two of Cups being here in this, I feel that when you develop this relationship, because this is Venus in Cancer, the Two of Cups, and I feel like that's a very, very intuitive place for Venus to be. She's aware of her body with that Taurus energy that she rules, and now when she's in our sign, she's in tune with the emotions as well. And I feel like I feel like you learn to love the process more, love that you're growing, and that you're, you know, and that you have this magic to work with, and the magic that is you. I feel that things can change, Cancer. Things are changing, but let's get some advice from Mars. Yeah, be mindful about people. Oh, Cancer. But be mindful about, I feel, people who try to tell you that their way is the only way. Always question, Cancer. You know, people are there to provide guidance to get you, but not to tell you what to do. Just like with astrology, tarot, and anything else. You know, that's just, you know, always be inquisitive. You know, it is one thing to have where someone's messages resonate with you, but then there's sometimes, you know, where the messages don't have to resonate. You know, and it's just, oh, I'm not quite feeling this today, and that's all right. All right, Cancer. Last couple things here. Yourself. Interesting. All right, Cancer. So you have the Eight of Cups, the Eight of Swords, the Hanged Man energy, Neptune, and then here we are, Cancer, the Chariot. I love that. Let's switch back over. Because this, I love this energy, Cancer, because the Chariot is this energy of victory. You know, it's going towards the path laid out for you, and it's because this Mars feeling this energy in Pisces is very intuitive, and I feel, you know, where yes, Mars is very, you know, a little bit tired here in Pisces, needs a bit more rest, is wanting to kind of trust in needing to surrender here a bit more. Mars is familiar with water energy. Granted, his is more intense, how he goes about it, than maybe with our energy or with Pisces, considering that he is the traditional guardian of Scorpio energy, but he knows how to be intuitive. Mars is probably, I'd almost argue, probably one of the most intuitive planets. You know, when you think about it, because with Aries is about instinct, with Scorpio it's about intuition. Mars trusts that gut quite a bit, and I feel this Eight of Swords here is, you know, it's fascinating when I'm thinking, and it's almost like I feel like the energy of Venus has almost even been, how fascinating. But there's this interference here, Cancer, with the Eight of Swords. That's a topic for another day. But with the Eight of Swords being here, I feel like this is looking at the ways that you may be getting in the way of your gift there, Cancer, or maybe because here's the thing too, and when I said being energetically responsible, we want to be mindful about giving other people too much authority over us and too much power over us. You know, when you say something like, "Oh, you made me feel such and such," or "They got me feeling," and it's one thing I'll say that jokingly, but I am kind of mindful of that, because it's just like, you can't make me feel anything. I can control how I feel about something, or like that's where I feel like we want to be mindful of where we do have this autonomy here, where you are the charioteer here, Cancer, and I feel there's something with the Eight of Cups that we may be kind of dragging your feet on, Cancer. Like this energy here, this growth that's happening with this new moon is something I feel like is going to take time. So don't feel like you have to rush, Cancer, but I do feel like it's going to be something that is going to be more visible kind of going forward. I feel like this is something where you'll just you'll you'll just be more aware of things. I'm not like how do I explain it? It's just like I wish I would. I'm picturing it as something that's draining when you it's like and you're aware of the drain that's happening. Like it's almost feel like there's this siphoning energy that's coming through. So pay something you're feeling there, Cancer. It's very interesting. So that may be siphoning away the magic, and not in a, and I just feel like it's coming through in the terms of distractions and things, Cancer. Things that keep you away from the vessel and the signals that it gives you. So whether make sure to get rest and things along those lines. And all right, Cancer. But I think I'm gonna leave that there. So if any of that resonated with you, you like that, Cancer, give it a thumbs up and share this thing, Cancer, because this is a big deal going forward. How we're going, again, how we show up energetically is going to be very, but it's always been important, but I feel there is a bigger accountability that's going to be happening. And listen, with my chart, I'm always in conversation with Neptune. My sun is opposed Neptune. They may not have the most harmonious conversation, but they're getting along better. And I feel like in that, I tune into Neptune quite a bit. And I feel that there is going to be that shift when Saturn and Neptune are both moving into Aries and then move back and then move forward and then stay there, and then they form that conjunction at the 0 degree of Aries. Things are going to be different, and how we show up energetically is going to be different. The magic is going to be on. Things are going to be on, and that's going to be coming in a couple of years. It's like the outer planets are really set the stage. When Pluto really moves and settles in, it's just like, okay, then we got one locked in, and then we got a couple couple locked in. So this is the time to band together and work with our energies. Be mindful with that and raise that vibration. So, and then subscribe to you, Chariot. Hit that bell button to get notified when I release videos each day. And then last little bit there, Cancer. Yeah, if you're curious about how we can tap into the magic of your chart there, Cancer, how you can work with these energies, what are some things, maybe you happen to have some Aries in your chart, maybe your Mars is in a strong place, maybe you have Saturn in Libra, but yeah, definitely check that information down in the description box. I have all that information for the readings that I offer there, Cancer, and also on my Instagram. And then after we get done, Cancer, we can come over to my other channel, Alchemist 8, where I do weekly videos talking about the astrological weather. It's called the Weekly Downloads. Or maybe I should change. Maybe I'll change it to Celestial News. No, I kind of like the Weekly Downloads. And all that housekeeping, Cancer, I'm not going to take you through that. It's down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards here, so I can get you out of here, Cancer. Here's Mars. You got the tower here. I should have mentioned something. I was feeling the tower. But you got, see that eye there, Cancer? That eye of Shiva? That's awareness. It's not to get you feeling. You see this mountain, because this tower is very dramatic. You got this monster down here that's breathing fire, that's threatening your tower. Your tower's fine. But there is change that is coming, Cancer. It is asking, what things can we burn away? What things can we let go? Because the foundation is looking a little dilapidated. This is a time where I feel tower moments don't have to happen to us. They can happen for us because we're making them happen. We're initiating the change. You know, the thing when you see, let me get the other card here, Cancer. You know, even when you see like, you know, big transits going on, you know, like, oh, I may have some squares going on or some tension that might be going here. I can prep for that. Okay, I'm going to need to take better care of my energies. There's going to be times when I need to push, and then when I have time to rest, really kind of rest and really be with myself. But energetic responsibility here, I feel, with the Tower. You decide where the change needs to happen there, Cancer. I feel this eye. This is the awareness of your magic and what you've built. Oh, and I love that, Cancer, of what you're bringing to being. And Cancer, you're just divinely supported in all of this. I love it because you got the hawk spirit here, which is let spirit be your guide. So Cancer, and that's the thing, we are being divinely guided through this. You know, but it is learning to trust that guide. That guide has your back. Mars energy is intense. You know, it can be a lot if we don't know how to manage our energies. But I feel like this can be a time where we, again, kind of can band together, work with our magic more, work with our guides more, however, whatever you can connect with, however you call it. But there is this awareness that is coming in of this higher energy, and that this realm is just a pit stop in a grander scheme of things, and whatever that means. And there's this piece of, you know, spirits, we're in a new moon. Spirit's not going to tell you where we're going. We're not going to spoil the surprise. That would be what would be the point. Because then you might be disenchanted, Cancer, and then you may ride it off before you realize how much you actually enjoy it. Who knows what that may look like? So, I like this, Cancer. I think I'm going to leave that there. Stay mindful out there, Cancer. Stay aware. You know, because you have a lot of magic at your potential. We got a lot of energies we can work with. Work with that moonlight enchantment. Feel the moon and tune into that lunar energy there, Cancer. It's lovely. And I will catch you on the next one tomorrow. Mars Day.